I've built a business that is going to turn over maybe $1 million next year, which is insane. I think there's something about entrepreneurs where you have an idea and then you just go all in. But I found my superpower was being a woman. And I think there are times in your life where you have to work full out, you have to go all in, you have to do the hustle, especially when you're building a business. We are the cog in the middle of our lives. We quite often measure ourselves by our productivity. Imagine your value as your productivity. Like, it's a bit messed up, isn't it? When you're in the first few years of business, just worry about what people think and what if I fail and am I good enough? Just be present in the moment, be bored and see what happens.
Hi, Money Honeys. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Honey podcast with me, your host, Rosalia Lazara Tilley. Now, I am going to give a shout out to some fabulous ladies who have reached out and said, that they're listening to the show and that they love the show. So thank you to you for letting me know this, because sometimes I get really caught up in the numbers, and that's going to be very relevant to today's show, by the way. But I get caught up in the numbers and I'm like, like that got that many views, or, our views aren't really growing that much. Does anyone actually care? Should I just give up? And if I'm honest with you, I have probably giving up once. So I did give up. So what I did was I paused the show for a few months. I think we stopped recording. Can't remember which months they were, because we still had episodes coming out from the previous months that we'd recorded, but I probably stopped recording for a couple of months. And it was because like the setup and the process just wasn't working for me, and the team that was around the podcast just wasn't working for me either. So I revamped the team, I re-recruited, I did some more training with the team, and then we picked it back up again. But during that pause, I don't think anyone reached out and said, where are you and how you doing? So that kind of like made me feel like, maybe it isn't being noticed, right? But then I picked it back up again, and then we paused again during, I think I didn't record anything in June or July, again, because of like personal reasons. So yeah, when I recently received some messages from people saying, I really love the show, I just thought, you know what? It's not, I don't do it for the adoration, and it's not that I'm looking for compliments but sometimes you just want to know it's making an impact, right? And it's actually making a difference. So thank you. If you do listen to the show, don't take it for granted that, not just for me, but for the guests, don't take it for granted that they know that they've reached you, or that they know that they've, made an impact. Sometimes it's just reaching out to a guest to say, I really enjoyed your episode, is really valuable, because you just don't know who's hearing your voice and where it's going. So please do, if you are a loyal listener of the show, please just, say something. If it's not to me, it's online, or to the guest. It's just really nice to be nice, right? So on that note, today, my very special guest and friend, because that's how we started, to be honest. We started out as friends from being in the industry together. We're going to touch on a topic about finding happiness as an entrepreneur, because how do we find happiness as an entrepreneur? Is it just like I explained, that we focus on the numbers and we focus on the results and we focus on the productivity? Or is there another way to be able to find happiness and calm and balance and satisfaction in our roles, without necessarily putting that pressure on ourselves of constantly looking at like the analytics and the scales and thinking, right, where's this going? So I've brought a special guest with me today to discuss the topic of happiness for entrepreneurs. She's in the property space as well. As you know, the Money Honey usually has many property and finance and construction guests, given the industry that I'm in, but we're not just closed off to that. But yes, my kind friend today is giving up her time. She is a property coach. She invests in property herself. She's known as like a HMO queen. She's now doing a lot around the rent-to-rent space as well. And she invests too. So I don't want to forget that, she does trading too. So we've got a lot of things to discuss. as the topic suggests, money, honey. So she's an empowering woman in the property space, and we're going to talk about money in many different ways. So without further ado, here she is, my good friend, Sophie Foote. Hi.
Yay! Thanks, Roz. It's lovely to be here.
Yes, you've been here before, so thank you for coming back. It's such a pleasure to have you here. So for those people who don't know you, give yourself an intro. Who are you and what do you do?
Oh, okay. My name's Sophie. I spent my 20s as a scuba diving instructor, so working my way around the world. Eventually built my own resort in Indonesia and just was living my best life. Had my 2 kids out there. And then after about 5 years of running that business, we sold it to come back to the UK so the kids could go to school here. And tried to work for different people. Couldn't. I think once you start your own business, you can't, you struggle to work for other people. And then I started a property business. So started in rent to rent, which is such a good business model. I absolutely love it. I think anyone can get into it if you've got a bit of drive. And we've scaled that business. We've just signed HMO number 35, I think, into the business. So it's scaled really well in the last 4 years. And now I coach and mentor other people to start their rent to rent businesses. Just released a mastermind where I'm training people. We've got a community where they get coaching, and that's going really well. And yeah, we're selling a business, we're buying a business, there's coaching going on. I do a bit of volunteering as well. And it's the school holidays as we record this. So busy, busy times.
Busy times. Yes, you are a true money honey. You're so entrepreneurial with like your adventures, you're a risk taker. How do you find that inner motivation, or where does that come from, that drive to juggle all of these things?
I think there's something about entrepreneurs where you have an idea and then you just go all in. You're like, yes, I'm going to try this. And then you might pivot and jump to something else and then try again and fail and then get back up again. And I think it's having that resilience, that confidence to get back up again. Because I've tried things and failed at them and tried something else and then it's worked really well. And I think it's having that kind of personality where you get really excited and really all into something. But you also like a bit of change and a bit of challenge. And I think that's kind of key to being an entrepreneur, just being able to go with the flow, get knocked down, get back up again and just go for it.
What's been your proudest achievement, Sophie? Top three. Give me your top three.
They're really good questions. Proudest achievement. Doing our resort in Indonesia. That was like
Epic.
peak, because I'd been a diving instructor for a few years and just loved the beach life. But I thought, I'm not earning much money doing this. I'm not saving anything. I need my own business. So to actually build that on a remote island where we were completely off grid, we had our own well for water, we had our own generators for electricity. It was intense. And to turn that into a successful business was just incredible. And then I'm really proud of my rent to rent business because there's a lot of barriers. It hasn't got a good reputation, but it's a fantastic business model and it's got a lot of moving parts. But as soon as you have learned all those moving parts, it's so scalable. So I'm really proud of that as well.
That was two. What's your third one?
Oh, God. Can I say my family? I think my kids are just the most amazing.
Oh my God, why
people.
would you ask permission?
Yeah, I'm very proud of the little people that they're becoming. They're great.
Oh, that is magical. What a great balance. And I mean, why couldn't we have been friends when you were a scuba instructor in Indonesia and been like, Roz, come on out here? I don't think I would do scuba diving. I am petrified of the deep blue and I just would. And also fish, like literally, even those little fish that like attack you in the ocean when they just want to nibble at your feet. Oh my gosh, it's so freaky. I like looking at the ocean and the fish from like the boat. And just magic in there, and it's just but it's just so unknown. Like, just
do you know what I became an instructor when I was 19, and there were no female instructors back then, and all the guys were like these big burly instructors who were like, who are you? But I found my superpower was being a woman, because I could work with the nervous girls who I could see they were uncomfortable trying to get this wetsuit on in front of everyone in the boat, or they're a bit nervous about the fish and things like that. So I would be able to work with them, be calm with them, be really understanding. And you'd be great. I'd be like, Ros, look down there, there's a starfish. And I'd just distract the hell out of everyone and show them all the clownfish and the coral and just get them to fall in love with
Wow.
it.
I can see you absolutely that nurturing, calming instructor. I could definitely see that. So yeah, fair play. I love it. Now you said that there's been things that you've tried and have not succeeded. So the reverse question is, it's not an interview, by the way, but I feel like you're in a. He's like your CV. You'd be like, tell me your weaknesses. But no, what have you tried as an entrepreneur that didn't actually go as you planned, and that you had to pause it or stop it or change it?
I mean, things that I've tried recently in the last couple of years. So I started mentoring people a couple of years ago now in rent to rent, and that's gone really well. I've always had a constant stream of people coming to me saying, teach me. And then a couple of years ago, I was like, I've now got into investing. I invest in the stock market. I do my Forex trading. It's just an amazing way to get your money to work for you. So I was like, I'll do an investment program. So I developed a program, started talking about it, started conversations about it, put loads of social media content about it, and people didn't sign up. And I spoke to other people about it, and they said, Sophie, the people who need it the most can't afford it or are not in a place to invest, which was a really interesting perspective. And I'm still really passionate about, I still tell everyone about investing. I'm like, just get an app, put £1 in the stock market and it will start working for you. And then last year I launched a female leadership program because I want to talk to you about this free program that I'm part of. But I thought I'm really passionate about this. And a lot of business women I meet have got terrible imposter syndrome and confidence issues. Like probably 90% of people that I meet, especially when you're in the first few years of business, just worry about what people think and what if I fail and am I good enough? And I'm just like, of course you're good enough. Look at everything you've done before. Look at how original and unique and amazing you are. And whenever I have conversations with women, it just resonates. And so I wanted to develop a female leadership program. And again, I came with the structure. I did a free challenge. I had 70 women in the challenge, loving it. And then only 3 signed up for the program. And I was like, okay, this isn't quite enough to run the program. And so I pivoted them all into one-to-one coaching. And I thought, okay, what do people want from me? And I asked, and they all want rent to rent training and coaching. And that's because that's what I've done for the last 4 years. I've built a business that is going to turn over maybe 1 million next year, which is insane. And it's what I'm really good at. And it's what I can teach people just so easily. Like I don't even need to write the program. I've just got it in my head. I just know the steps that people need to go through. So in July, I launched a rent to rent free channel, broadcast channel on Instagram. We've got over 100 people in there that I just pop rent to rent tips and advice. In July, I launched the mastermind and we've already got 10 people in. So it just
Wow.
happened so quickly and so easily and so naturally that I was like, why haven't I done this before? And it makes it more affordable to work with me because I'm so busy and I'm running this business with 35 HMOs in it and a team and stuff. I don't have time to take on more one-to-one clients. So to do a group structure where people can ask questions, they can be in the community, they've got all the training from me, and I coach them twice a month is much more easier for me because I'm in there less, but really valuable for them.
Amazing, Sophie. That is really truly finding your flow, isn't it? You in the state of creation, in a state of action, and you're doing what you know best. And it's so fantastic to hear that you did try other things and you are versatile and you are diverse, you are talented at many other things, but maybe that's just what you Oh, like that's your superpower. Oh, bless you. That's
Yeah.
your superpower, and that's what you're going to be known for, and that's what you're known for. So like that's the thing, is about honing in on your skill and running with that, making it as successful and as powerful as possible. So tell me about this happiness program then.
So happiness is that I've been having a lot of theories in my head recently, which I want to share with you. But it all came from this program that I'm part of, which is called Inspired Women Lead, which I would encourage everyone to go and look up. And Inspired Women Lead is a global female leadership program that is free. It's the most incredible thing I've ever done. And it was developed quite a few years ago by a woman called Bonnie, who is an American woman who lives in Geneva. And she has been all over the world. She's been on like missions with the church, and she's been involved with charities who give like micro loans to women in developing countries to help them with their businesses. She's just absolutely amazing. She's worked with women all over the world. And the Inspired Women Lead program, you join as a mentee and you're mentored for 6 months. And then you mentor another woman for 6 months. And it's open to women globally. So when I joined as a mentee, my mentor was a Malaysian woman living in the Netherlands. She mentored me for 6 months. And in that initial 6 months, you also get to join a group call. So there's 4 different calls every month in different time zones. You join a group call, and it's got between like 5 and 25 women from completely different corners of the globe, all giving their perspective on this month's topic. And it just blew my mind. And then once I finished being mentored, I then got to mentor, and I was matched with a woman from Brazil in her 50s. So when they match people, they try and match you with someone as different as possible so that you can actually see how similar you are. And then you mentor someone for 6 months, and you're given the structure and PDFs and exactly how to do it. And then again, you join a group mentor call. And then after you finish the 12 months program, you can then mentor again. So I mentored again, and it's all run by volunteers. So I finished 2 years ago, but I now facilitate one of the group calls every month for the women. And it was my favorite part of the program because you come on and there's like 30 women, and you just talk about, okay, how are we all thinking about confidence this month? What conversations have you had with your mentor? How's it? And the perspectives are different every single time. So I've been hosting these calls for maybe 2 years now with different cohorts of women, and it's always a different conversation. And I've been thinking about happiness recently, and I've got a theory that you need to be happy in yourself for your life to be happy. Like, my kids are on school holidays at the moment, and my 10-year-old boy, sometimes we're out and about and he's like, I'm bored. I'm so bored. Can I play on your phone? I'm really bored. And I'm like, no, just be present. Just be present in the moment. Be bored and see what happens. Because I think it's really important to not be constantly stimulated by things, especially for kids. So I'm like, no, you're not looking at my phone. Go and play with your sister or climb a tree or something. And we were having a conversation in the group, in the Inspired Women Lead group program, about work-life harmony. So we don't talk about work-life balance because we don't want it to be balanced. Like, some of us love our work and we just want to keep going. But it's important to have time for your work, have time for your relationships, and have time for yourself. And we ask the women to think about how much time goes into those 3 buckets. Like, how much time do you spend working? How much time do you spend with your personal relationships? And how much time do you spend on yourself? And when I did this exercise a few years ago, my self bucket was tiny. And I remember going to my husband after I'd spoken to my mentor in tears in the kitchen going, I've just realized I don't do anything for me. And I think, I was building a business at the time. And I think there are times in your life where you have to work full out. You have to go all in. You have to do the hustle, especially when you're building a business. But you can't keep doing that forever or you're going to burn out. So I started giving myself time for me. And I realized that we are the cog in the middle of our lives. And if we are not the happiest, healthiest, fittest person, that's going to affect your family, your business, your relationships. And we were talking about this on the call, and one of the women said, you know, we quite often measure ourselves by our productivity. Imagine your value as your productivity. Like, it's a bit messed up, isn't it? So, and she was saying, actually, just to exist and just to be you is enough. And just being present and being you is beautiful. So I feel like I've spoken for a long time. What do you think?
Oh, I wanted to let you fly because it was just that felt like a coaching call. Like, you can send me an invoice later if you want. But that was a like that really filled me up because
Mm.
I was making faces. I was pulling faces. I don't know if that will be featured in the video. But I definitely measure myself by my productivity. I'm sorry, but I don't know where it's come from because
Mm.
I really don't, and I've never had a psychology session where I've like gone back to my childhood, because I can only really bring up happy memories, because that's all I literally, like happy memories from my childhood. But I was the kind of person at school that would I had a massive binder, and this binder I put all my certificates in, even
Yeah.
like perfect attendance. I was like, get in there. Like, I'd put it in my binder. Then I'd get like, you know, Rosalia was like, whatever certificate you could think of, I had it. Like, even the most random things, I would file it away in that binder. And then I don't know, as a child, this was before I even went back to, like, even but like now as an adult, knowing what the secret is, the law of attraction, or
Mm.
positive mindset. Like, I didn't know these buzzwords before, right? But I was practicing them because I remember I used to periodically get my binder out. It's just so sad. I used to get my binder out. I feel like Monica from Friends. And I used to look at, I so am. I used to look at all my achievements, like the
Yeah.
swimming and this and that. And like, even now I've got like a shelf with books on it, and one of my books is on there. And you know, I frame success, right?
Mhm.
Literally, like either in a binder or in a frame or on a shelf, you know, like the trophies. But do not be mistaken, right? Okay, I never won anything, as in I was not a great runner. Did not win at the swimming. I never won like any trophies. If I won any trophies or medals, it was for dancing. But again, it was like the lowest group, but I was the best at the lowest group, if you know what I mean. No, like literally, I was like the best of the low group. So like I would join like the beginner, ballroom, and Latin, because to
Mm.
get from beginner to intermediate and advanced in ballroom and Latin, it is insanely difficult. Like, I've never come from any formal training. I never did
Mm.
ballet or anything. So I was literally just basically, I was boogieing. I was just doing a
Yeah.
boogie, and it just happened to get away with the judges that I was like, I had the flair. Anyway, now I'm talking for ages, but the point is, what everything you've just said, I totally. I'm already on the website, ladies listening, everyone listening. You know, we have men listening to the show. Okay, share this with your daughters, partners. You
Mm.
know, whoever you feel would be benefit from this. But I'm already on the website of Inspired Women Lead,
Yeah.
and there's an application here. I think I've got until October the 15th. So the deadlines to apply are April 15th and October 15th. So you're still in time, people, to apply for this. But yeah, thank you for that, Sophie. And then the other thing I wanted to mention with that's matching what you said, you know, like you were looking at the buckets of your life.
Mm.
I have always carried, and I haven't been doing it recently, but I'm going to do a new assessment. I have, I'm going to share my screen. Oh my God, I've not done this before. Share my screen, presentation time.
I'm
So
excited.
yeah. So can everyone see this? So this is the
Mhm.
Inspired Women Lead. Yeah. So I'm going to be on that. So this looks incredible. So I just wanted to show everyone who's watching this. But I also then wanted to share this tab, which is the Wheel of Life. Have you seen this
Yes.
before, Sophie?
No, but it looks great.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I draw a wheel. So for anyone only listening to the audio, I draw a wheel, and from like you basically turn that wheel, that circle, into pieces of pies, right? Equal slices of pie. And then you label each slice. So the slices here that you can see are, and you can make your own ones up as well, but these are the core ones, which is career, finance, family, health, fun and recreation, friends. I usually like, friends, personal development, and spiritual. And then you color in the chart from 1 to, so you can number the slice of pie from 1 to 10, or color it in as a gradient based on how happy you feel in that category. So as Sophie was saying, you assess your happiness, not just as your productivity in just career or just your business or just your money. You have to look at it as a wheel of life. So how happy are you in your career out of 10? Is that 9, 4, 3? So you color it in to that grading. And then you will see, if you're looking at the video, if you're not looking at the video, I do encourage you to watch these shows as well on the YouTube channel, not just Spotify. But if you're looking at this, you can visually see how the wheel is a bit imbalanced. As you can see, this particular wheel, for whoever did it, this is just an example, has got huge levels of like satisfaction in career and finance, but actually their family and friends is the lowest, if you can see visually here. So if you're feeling off that month, right, I usually like to do this on a monthly basis. Think, well, actually, have I been really disconnected from my friends and my health, which is why it's making me feel unbalanced? What would you say about this, Soph?
I think it's amazing. And I think I didn't even consider measuring it or thinking about it before. I was just going through life. And then when I had this session with my mentor, because that's the other amazing thing about this program is you're given an hour a month just for you, which we don't ever do. And you have your mentor just kind of prompting you to reflect on things that you can either answer at the time or think about afterwards. And you really actually reflect, which I hadn't done like ever. And so I was reflecting, thinking, what do I do for me? And why don't I do that? So now I book a massage every 3 weeks because that's how I completely switch off. And
well, I have to have a massage because like with all the fitness and activity, that's like the only way to like really recover. So I love a massage. That's definitely my thing as well.
Yeah, I will book time for stuff just for me. And I know that's okay because I'm the cog and if I'm good, everything else is going to be good. So I think it's great to actually track it. And I was upset that week that I was tracking stuff because as I was tracking it, I could now visually see how much time I was working and how much time I wasn't doing other things. And it really, really got to me. So yeah, it's a great exercise to do.
Well done, Soph. That's really, really powerful that you were so honest and open with yourself to say, like, actually, you're neglecting yourself. And yesterday I was with a client, and every time I meet this client, right, and I've been working with him for over a year, so I've been hearing the same dialogue for over a year, and it's not changing. But he's constantly complaining about his wealth, his gut, his he's just too busy. And he's like, no, I've got to get on it. I've got to get on it. But he constantly makes bad decisions. So like on that day we finished filming and he was like, oh, do you want to come for a drink after? I was like, no, I'm going to the gym. I've got a 2-hour gym session, so I can't come out drinking. He's like, oh, I'm just going to go for one. And it's just those little choices every single day that you make where you decide, no, just 10 more minutes of work, or, I'll just stay just another hour whilst the kids are, And that hour, you think it's just an extra hour that you're giving value to your business, but it's an hour you're taking away from your own value. And that's like the reframe. It's thinking, like some people are like, how do you go to the gym for 2 hours? And I'm like, I don't go to the gym for 2 hours every day. Maybe twice a week, I'll do 2 double gym sessions back to back. So that's 2 hours in the gym, but that's 2 hours without my phone. The only way, Sophie, that I can switch off, like your kids, I have to do something else. I can't just sit there being bored because that hour could be given like in a walk, or I could do a walk, I could do some meditation. I can do another activity, but that is wholesome. I don't know. I like to fill every hour of my day with something, and I don't want to just sit there. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. It's not there's wrong or right, but it just doesn't work for me just sitting there. Because when I have just sat there, what's positive about it is I'm so bored that my brain goes into overdrive and I can't stop thinking. And then it makes me want to work more because I'm like, I've got so many ideas. So that's good. Yeah.
But I think that you can, if you want to schedule in all your things, you can. But we're also talking about, activities that drain you versus activities that fill you up. So actually, you're going to the gym, and for you love it, don't you? Like you feel stronger.
I am not human if I don't go.
that fills you right up, doesn't it? And when I have a massage, it means I can stop. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm completely zoned out, and it just brings me peace. And I live now by the beach now, so I'll try and go for a walk quite a few times a week. And again, like it fills me up, it recharges me. So even if you don't have to sit doing nothing, but do something that just is self-care for you.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like loads of people are like, just relax, Ros, chill. I'm like, I am relaxing. Like when I'm at the gym, that is me relaxing. When I'm like going on a walk and I'm walking and talking even on the phone, that is relaxing. Like that's my way of relaxing. But you have to do what you find nourishing and helpful. So yeah, I love this conversation. This is super powerful. And like I said, I'm literally signing up to this thing because I've noticed that this year when I was coming in and out of funks, let's say, or in and out of dips in my challenges and my emotional challenges that I've been having, what I tend to do is regress and like retract, and I hibernate. Whereas actually sometimes when we have these problems, it's better to be connected and to be around people, because I found that I would hide and hibernate, and then actually I was just dealing with the problem myself. And so it sounds like a group that could really support during ups and downs.
It's one of the best things I've ever done. It totally changed my life, and it's even more than I'm telling you. Like it's everything. And I can't
I'll be
believe it's
there.
free.
I'm coming.
I can't believe it's free. So please do.
I was just going to say, so how does she make any money then? What does she do to monetize anything? Like, does she not need money? Or?
It's a charity. So I think they look for sponsorship for some of it. And I think they've got like one admin person that is paid part-time. And otherwise they've got a really strong group of volunteers.
I love this.
Yeah.
I really do love this. So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with the entire Money Honey community. You've been an incredible Money Honey, and it's just been an absolute joy to have you on the show. Is there any closing words or message that you'd like to leave the Money Honeys with?
I don't think so. Thank you for having me. It's so nice to see you. And yes, just everyone just do something just for them this week. Just book it in and do it.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. Do something for you. Yeah, I love that. And just really quickly, as my closing comment, me and Sophie are part of like a private like friends group. It's just like how many WhatsApp groups do you have? Like I don't know, I've got too many. But we've got this one WhatsApp group called Property Queens, and we've got a few friends of us in there. It's not a business group. It's literally friends together. But what I have to say is that to be surrounded by so many talented people that are on a mission, in action, in the state of flow, that are thriving, that group is blowing up constantly. Like every day someone's like, hey, I've got this thing going on, you're welcome to come, or hey, I've just launched this, or hey, and I'm like, yes, like this. And what I would suggest is, whether you're part of something formal like Inspired Women Who Lead or something else, if you're not part of anything like that, create your own mini supportive group, even in just friends. Like if you commit, like with your friends saying, look, ladies and gents, you can have a mixed group and say, look, we all committed this year that we would, go to the gym, or we all committed that we would level up our careers. We want to get a pay rise. So let's be in this group together and motivate each other, because that accountability is so powerful. And on the days that you're feeling down, I still find a reason to be happy for my friends, because when they're posting in the group and they're like, I've just done this, I'm like, yeah, fair play. Well done, mate. Like, that's amazing. Like, I feel really happy for them. And then it just could spark that excitement for you to do the same for you. So that's my leaving my message to leave you with. So on that note, Sophie, thank you once again for being a stunning, sensational, inspirational Money Honey. I really have appreciated our chat together. And for everybody else, if you've got any questions about Inspired Women Who Lead, or the Rent to Rent coaching, or anything that Sophie has touched on today, how can they reach out to you, Sophie? Where are you?
I mainly hang out on Instagram, which is Sophie Coach by the Beach, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Sophie Foote. Yeah, just Google me.
Yeah, Google Sophie, we're connected. So, and of course, if you're new to this episode and new to the show, please remember to subscribe, because then that way you'll get notified of the next show. We release an episode every single week, that 30 minutes of inspirational dosage that you might need to pick you up for the week and propel you into the next week. Of course, as always, I always open the door to saying, if anyone has a cool story, and regardless of where you're at in life, up, down, everyone has a story to tell and everyone can resonate with someone. You're always welcome to come and tell the story on the Money Honey platform. That's what this platform is for. It's a free podcast that, you know, is there facilitating the conversation. So if you want to come and talk about you and what you do, please do get in touch, and I will see you on the next show. Thank you so much.